I'd like to welcome you all to our Tuesday 1:30 p.m. session with Chenelyn once again, where she'll be doing a session on winter bulb plantings. We're preparing for a beautiful and colorful spring. I'm going to read our disclaimer before we get started. The WildTech DC Senior Digital Inclusion Program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual help, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on information in the apps or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer. If you cannot see us, hear us, please let us know in the chat. Hello, YouTube. This will be in our YouTube channel. Let's just keep our mics in mind and make sure to use those hands. Besides that, Chenelyn, please introduce yourself and your topic for today. Thank you once again for coming on, and we're going to have a great session. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex, for the fantastic introduction. I'm Chenelyn Barker, and today we will be discussing the beauty of bulbs. I'm just going to share my presentation. All right, can
Wonderful.
everyone see the presentation?
Yes, you are good to go, Chenelyn.
Great. All right, the beauty of bulbs. Bulbs actually have been around for quite many years. In ancient history, it was done through trade and status. For example, folks would use daffodils to bury folks of higher status, especially like in the Renaissance time. And in ancient Greece and China, they use it as food and medicine, like your garlic and your alliums. And then today, and just in general, they're symbolic for many different things: peace, comfort, beauty, condolences, symbol of hope, or just to make you happy because they're so colorful and beautiful. And the background here is the various bulbs that we'll be discussing. So you usually start out looking like an onion, and then they'll grow and peep into beautiful, colorful blooms. We're going to focus first on two different type of bulbs. The first one is spring bulbs. And these bulbs are also known as hardy because they're planted in the winter. Sorry, planted in the fall, and then they'll stay out throughout the winter season, and then they'll flower in the spring. So currently right now, we would plant what would be known as spring bulbs because we are going to start planting them now, which is, it could be a little bit too early just because we're still getting kind of the last of the fall crop. So hopefully if you've been planting year round, right now you should be harvesting the last of your leafy greens. That could be bok choy, Swiss chard, kale, and your spinach. And remember, we are zone 7. So that means our planting cycles are a little bit longer because it doesn't get cooler until more toward the end of the season. So I would say maybe mid-November or probably before Thanksgiving would be a great opportunity to plant your spring bulbs. And some popular varieties include tulips, irises, daffodils, and crocus. And the photo here is a beautiful compilation of those popular ones I mentioned in what is called a lasagna layering. the different layers of the different colors, just like you would make lasagna where it's layered, done by a height. So another chart will discuss that. But so right now we are in the spring bulb planting. Any comments or thoughts you'd like to share?
Oh, I love this picture, Chenelyn. Please raise your hand if you have any comments on anything shared. Um, Chenelyn, which one is your favorite, and can you use your mouse to identify each one on the picture for us?
I like all of them. I don't have a favorite because they're each special in their own way, right?
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't. I think all different varieties of flowers are so unique in their own way. Oh, and I forgot to mention these are best to plant in cooler temps. So we're probably around, the 40 to 50 Fahrenheit. And then they'll be okay through colder evenings, like maybe in the 30s or late, maybe, yeah, probably in the 30s.
Um, Thank you, Yvonne, for sharing. Do you have something to share about this slide?
Oh, I love those plants. They are so beautiful. I wanted to ask Chenelyn if they are all perennials.
Yes and no. Yes. So for these, um, a good question. So yes and no. It depends on if you're able to save the bulbs and how you plant them and like when you dig them out. So these ones are, but there's a special way that after they bloom, you will dig the bulb out
I
and store it for next year. And what you'll do is you'll put them like in a paper bag and you'll store them like in a cool place in your home, maybe like a drawer or the back of a closet, where it's just cooler.
okay. So you do have to dig that bulb up.
You do, yes, yes, but um, yes, you do. Yes.
Okay.
When we talk about the summer bulbs, which is the next slide, you can essentially just put mulch around it to keep it warmer if temperatures don't dip below 30. If you live in a colder climate, you would have to dig them up if you wanted to save them, or otherwise you'll need to pat them really well
Uh-huh.
with mulch or something to keep it warm throughout the
Yes,
winter
we're
season.
in zone 7, so we have to dig them up. We have to.
Yes.
That's a lot of work to dig those bulbs up.
Tulips are very beautiful. I mean, bulb planting are very beautiful. I think they produce some of the most unique looking flowers and colors. But yes, they do take a lot more care than others
Hmm. Thank
versus
you.
just like
Thank you,
plant
Ellen.
houses.
Thank you, Chenelyn.
Thank you for sharing, Miss Yvonne.
Oh, that was a good question. I learned a lot. Um, Chenlyn, are you able to answer something about taking care of cactus plants in the winter now, or do you want to save that until the end, or are you able to answer that now?
Oh, what was the question? Was it in the chat, Alex?
Yes, the taking care of
Okay,
cactus plants in the winter.
all right, let me look at it. That is a good question. I am not too familiar with cactus plants. I do know that they require very little water. Maybe that's something to Google and share. Or if you remember in the last presentation, I shared the Farmer's Almanac that had a lot of different good resources with different things. I can't answer that question. I would think that just based on certain plants, it would probably thrive better in a warmer room and maybe not put it by a windowsill. But in terms of watering, I mean, they don't take a lot of water to begin with. So, maybe just move it away from the cold draft. But that, Miss Anna, you will need to research a little bit more.
Oh, it says reduce watering significantly, cool, dry, dormant period provided with the cool location. That's what I found on Google. So please Google some more
Nice.
information. That's a good question.
And I guess it depends on what type of cactus too, right? I mean, do you have a cactus that's blooming, or do you have more of an ornamental type of cactus?
Oh, that's good. That would be good to know. So yes,
Yes, yeah.
Google is your friend.
Yes.
I see two more hands. I think we'll move on after those, but any comments on these bulbs, anything you see on the slide, any questions? Anne and then Mr. Adams.
Well, Chenelyn, I must be in bad taste because I have never dug my tulip bulbs up, and they've come back every year. So, and the
It's
Christmas
not
cactus,
required.
if you,
Mhm.
oh, okay,
It's
and the
not required to pull the bulbs up. If you can leave them in there. I mean, folks at our community garden leave theirs in, leave their daffodil bulbs in. And if it gets a little bit colder, she'll, just put extra dirt or mulch on top of it. But we have a lot of
mhm.
gardeners who never pull their bulbs out. I only suggest that if you live in an area that's more cold than what we're experiencing.
Okay, and the Christmas cactus, the lady gave me a little tiny piece. I'm gonna take a picture of it and show it to you next month. But I feed it. I water it once a week, and I feed it every 2 months. And it's tall and it's getting ready to bloom for Christmas. I can see little things coming on it now.
Oh, I love the Christmas cactus. You have they're red, right? The little red bulbs. I mean, the little red petals.
Mine is kind of like pinkish red.
Oh,
When it
I would
blooms,
love
I'm
to
gonna
see a
show you.
photo.
Show you how it's grown. It's grown really big. I was surprised, and I keep it in my back bedroom,
Mhm.
where the sun is every day, and I turn it so that the plant gets equal sun on all
Mhm.
four sides. We
Oh,
turn it
that's
every
perfect.
turn it every couple of weeks.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I've
That's
learned a lot
great.
from you, girl, honey.
Thank you for sharing, Anne. I love it.
I can't wait to see it, Miss Anne.
Okay, baby.
Miss Yvonne, did you hear Miss Anne's wonderful tips about the cactus? More so her Christmas cactus. I think what she does, I think, would probably be a some good tips for all cactus plants.
Mhm. Thank you so much for sharing. Mr. Adams, did you have something to share about winter bulbs or the
No,
flowers?
my question would be, are they medicinal plants? Like, I heard a lot of plants you can use for medicine and other
Mhm.
or whatever. Can these be in that same category?
Yes. So, like for an example, the allium plants are part of the onion family, and their petals are edible, and the stems are too. It's very much similar to like how you would cook with chives.
Hmm.
And I know like certain flowers that are also cold resistant, like pansies, although they're not bulbs, their leaves too can be used as garnish. But I would probably just Google each one just to be safe. I'm not too familiar with the spring bulbs as being more medicinal.
Thank you for your question, Mr. Adams, and for all the questions. You guys are so inquisitive.
Right, summer bulbs. Summer bulbs, they're just as popular as the spring bulb, but I think folks are more familiar, depending on the region or where you live or what your zone is. Some tend to favor more than other. But if you're into the bulb world, you could just plant all the beautiful flowers in all seasons. Summer bulbs, unlike the spring bulbs, are called tender bulbs. And they are planted because they're not as cold resistant as the hardy ones. You can usually plant them in the spring after the first frost or when there isn't a threat of a frost. So here in DC, in our area, probably I would say maybe April, right? But you could do it in May and then it will just bloom longer in the summer. So some will bloom later in the summer or for a longer time into fall, like dahlias. They need to be planted when the ground is warmer. So like I said, after the first frost, And some popular ones are gladiolus, lilies, and elephant ears. So essentially for the spring bulbs, we would plant them mid-November. They will blossom in the springtime after the first frost. So they'll probably bloom in March, or maybe April or March, but probably March and April and parts of May. And then in May to June, you would plant the summer bulbs. And then because, we probably were getting higher temperatures all the way on through October, you're going to have some of those summer bulbs into a late bloom. I think one of our gardeners had some dahlias until probably the first week of October, because we had a lot more milder temps. So that's the beauty, I think, of being in zone 7 is our seasons our planting seasons tend to be longer because we have more of a colder or drier or warmer climate throughout the months. So you can really utilize these bulbs. At our garden, lilies and dahlias are the most popular. Questions, comments?
Elephant ears is such a funny name. Are those?
So if you didn't know, the elephant ears really kind of do look like an elephant ear, but they're green. They're big green leaves, and they also come in assorted colors. Some of them have like a white or a pinkish kind of spider web down the middle. Some of them have colorful spots on them, but they're usually multiple big green leaves with different color variations.
Would you plant the summer bulbs in the same place as the winter bulbs, or in two different places in the garden, or in the plot of land like y'all do at the garden? How would you go about that?
It depends. If you want to plant it next to them, you can. You can do lasagna layering, but most folks usually do them in clusters apart from each other. So, depending on what else you're growing in your garden, you can't, knowing how they grow and when and how tall each ones are, you can really be creative. Sometimes gardening, we see things visually. So, for example, some folks like to do the dahlias, and it depends on your yard too, right? So if you have a deeper yard, you may want to plant the dahlias as a border or in the back, right, by the fence. At our community garden, some folks do the the dahlias as a border or like in the corner of the plot. So it really depends on how you visually want to see these different type of flowers grow, and also their height.
Yeah, one will
Some
be growing and then the other will be, going away. So it'll be kind of cool to see them side by side. Thank you, Yvonne, for sharing again. Any thoughts on these summer bulbs? Anything shared so far?
Oh, absolutely. I once planted the elephant ear bulbs, and boy, they were huge.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they really thrived. But I was wondering, Chenelyn, what do you mean by tender bulbs? Tender bulbs.
They're not as, that's a good question. I would love, maybe Google it, Miss Yvonne, and see what Google says, what our AI friends think. I would think they're called tender bulbs because they, unlike the hardier bulbs where they're going to be going through winter, the tender bulbs don't need to be planted. That's a good question. How would I put it? I guess tender meaning they don't need to be as hardy because they're not in the soil where it's going to be cooler.
I
It's a
see.
little bit more milder climate and when they're being planted.
Yeah, I'll Google and research.
You let us know what it says.
Yes, or you can do Wikipedia and get extended, information.
Or if you, yeah, exactly. Or if you have the physical encyclopedia books, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, that's a that's a good question. I think I see what you're saying, Chenelyn. So I'm agreeing with you because there may be smaller or just less guess hard because the shell-ish thing for the winter bulbs is not as needed because yes, it's not as cold in the spring. So that's a that's an interesting term.
Mhm.
It is, yes. Actually, I'm going to Google it now because I want to see what our AI friends say.
It's
So,
interesting how some of them will bloom in the summer, but some it'll take the whole summer to grow to actually bloom in fall. Is that what that means too?
yes, according to our AI friends, tender bulbs are plants that are not hardy enough to survive cold winter temperatures and must be dug up and stored. Native to warmer climates, they are typically planted in the spring after the danger of frost has passed and are popular for their summer blooms.
Okay.
So they're summer bloomers, they're cold sensitive, meaning they will die if left in the ground through frost, particularly in zone 7 or colder. So yeah, so tender bulbs you would have to dig up and store in paper bags, or if that frost doesn't get below 30, you could additionally put mulch around it to keep it warmer.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Chenelyn.
Yes, and they do require protection here. It says here to be replanted in the next season, they must be dug up before the first frost and stored indoors in a cool, dry place.
Mm-hmm.
So some examples of tender bulbs include the calla lilies, dahlias, the gladiolos, the tuberous begonias, and also the elephant ears as well.
Great question. Oh, I love this graphic. That's cool.
All right, so of course we have different sizes and different colors of our bulbs, and this is kind of a wonderful cheat sheet of how you plant. And so I know the chart is in centimeters, so it's usually for all of these, it's no more than 1 foot deep. And 5 centimeters equals to about 2, around it up, so about 2 inches, just to give you a reference. So your bigger bulbs, there are 20, those will go probably about a foot deep into the ground. Your irises, your crocus, and your galanthus, maybe 2 to 3 inches in the ground. And then your muscari, your hyacinths, those will go into about maybe 3 to 4. And then your tulips, maybe 5 to, and daffodils, are 5 to 6. And then your larger bulbs will go down no more than a foot deep.
How interesting. The bigger the bulb, the more likely you have to plant it a little deeper.
And why does and just based on science in terms of how things grow, why would we think they would need to be deeper?
Who would like to answer that question? Please raise your hand. We love to hear from you, especially if we haven't heard from you today. Raise your hand. Why do you think the bigger bulbs need to be placed maybe more deeper in the ground? Any takers? It's a very
I'll give you a
interesting
clue,
question.
maybe the height of the plant. The stems are bigger or longer, and so therefore would need more space to grow until they've reached peak bloom.
I would think it maybe the roots would grow wider.
Was that Miss
Okay.
Denise?
No,
Who spoke?
that was Miss Dolores. Say that again, Miss Dolores.
I say I would think it maybe because the roots would grow wider in the ground. They would need
Yes,
more
that too.
space.
Okay.
Yes.
How about you, Denise? What do you think?
Maybe because of the weather. Maybe because of the weather. The deeper
That
it
is
go
true. I
down.
think depending on how cold it is, you may have to plant all of these a little bit deeper.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts? Thank you so much.
So it's just a really nice visual, because who would have thought, that you would have to plant them in all different ways, and you can't, you couldn't just dig the dirt up and then just plop the bulb in, right? Okay, before you plant, here is a little quick overview of things to keep in mind when doing bulb planting. So when we think about where we want to plant them, we want to make sure that's in a place that has good sunlight and good drainage, even if it's in the ground, that the bulb isn't sitting in water itself, that the dirt around it is going to be enough where it's going to soak up the water and feed back the nutrients into the bulb. Note that bulbs can be planted most anywhere. So when you think about doing a variety, Alex had that good question earlier about, can you plant the summer and the spring bulbs side by side? That is going to be something you think about when you're planting. Bulbs can be grown in many ways and anywhere. And some folks like to plant them in clusters to create a greater visual impact, meaning more together compact. So when they grow, you'll see all the colors together. And so like I said, some folks are really architectural types when they plant their garden. I believe there was an app, Alex, right, that you had shared with us a few sessions ago where you could plant and create your own garden.
Yes, I think it was a Seed and Spade. There was also another one that we had went over
Mhm.
before. So yes, there's even apps for you to be able to
Right,
do
right,
these things, which is
right.
amazing.
So if you did participate and use that app, it's very similar concept to planting these bulbs. Are you going to, put them in front of your certain vegetables that you have? So like the green contrast with the color, or provide certain shades for your different plants. I mean, you can get really very much deep into the layout of the garden and how they'll complement your vegetables that you want to share the space with. When you plant the bulb, it is important to make sure that the pointy end of the bulb is facing up. You would think that would be, counterintuitive, but you'd be surprised how some people just put the bulb in and not realizing that if you look closely at the bulb, there is one side that's going to have a little bit more of a point, and that's usually where the flower is going to bloom. We want to make sure that when we put it into the ground, that we are preparing the soil by loosening it up and adding additional, either a bulb fertilizer or any type of nutrient mulch that you can plant around it. And then as soon as you plant the bulb in its spot, along with any type of amendment soil and the depth, we want to make sure that we water it well around it. And then if need be, depending on where you live, I know that we've shared stories of our friendly critters enjoying our strawberries and summer crops in our last session. So we want to make sure that if need be, that you use, I put hick wire, but I think I meant to put chicken wire, or any type of like fine wire mesh that you can lay on top of the bulbs and then like put bricks around it or put a stake to hold it, but something that's going to a smaller enough grade of mesh where squirrels and stuff aren't going to dig up the bulbs. Questions, comments?
Make sure y'all take your screenshots. This looks like a wonderful plan, and it's
Are
always good.
we feeling confident in how we're going to plant our bulbs? I mean, really, all you got to do is just put it in the ground, at least have, a foot of dirt all around it, and water and watch it grow, right? It's really 3 easy steps.
Any thoughts on this slide? Please raise your hand. We got Anne. Thank you.
Chenelyn, I put a netting over my bulbs when I first plant them, and I also put mothballs because the squirrel doesn't like mothballs
Mhm.
around my tulips and stuff.
Mm. And
And
how is it working out for you?
well, they haven't dug up the tulips in years, and I
All
haven't planted
right.
them for a while. So
That's a success.
And I tell you who started that with me, my nana. My,
Oh.
my nana, and she passed it on to my mama, and my mama when she was planting her garden, we used mothballs because we're not trying to kill any of the little squirrels. We just want them to leave our
Oh,
flowers alone.
right, right.
Yep.
And I do want to add, thank you for sharing that, Miss Ann. That is so important because that adds to what I want to say in terms of you don't have to, if you just want to do bulb planting and not do vegetables, that's up to your discretion. Some folks only want a garden full of different flowers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, there's no set way to do gardening. Garden, I always believe, is an art, and it's what you want to plant, what you're going to enjoy, or if you're doing vegetables, what you enjoy eating, what do you want to see, what do you cook with more, and it's trial and error. Gardening and is an art. So, don't think that, oh, it has to be perfect, it has to be this way. If you only like daffodils, plant a whole row of daffodils. If you have limited space, you can take a big pot and put 1 or 2 bulbs in a pot
Mm-hmm.
and have it grow inside your home or, outdoors. And then when it blooms, you can bring it in. So, don't think that bulb planting has to be this grandiose of a thing. If you only want one plant in a little container, just plant the 1 bulb. But I would say probably do 2 bulbs just in case one, for whatever reason, it doesn't bloom.
Great tips, Chenelyn. Yes, it's an art. We talked about art and how everything in life is art, and it shouldn't be stressful. Gardening should be the opposite of that, or art
Right.
should be the opposite of stressful. It should be invigorating and exciting because you're doing something new.
Right. And if it doesn't work out, it's okay. It's not your fault if you planted a bulb and it didn't grow. It could have been a dud, right? And you wouldn't have known that. And due to many different reasons. But the most important thing is to plant what you like or what you like to eat or what you want to eat and to, watch it grow. And maybe you can just try 1 bulb too, if you want. So now we'll move on to bulb planting is relatively easy. It's kind of like pathos plants. It's very forgiving. If it comes up, it comes up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Now we will go through 4 quiz questions. And I'll ask the question first, and then the first person to raise their hand will answer their question. If they're correct, we'll move on to the second slide to learn more about it. So there's 4 opportunities to win a prize. And again, the prize is a surprise bulb that will be sent to you that's already in a pot, or you may just have to assemble it. But it'll be a surprise, and it'll definitely be it'll be a spring bulb. So you'll plant it now and you'll enjoy it in spring. So all you'll have to do is just to water it, or if you want to repot it into another container that you already have, you can do that as well. And sometimes they'll have these kits where they have a little brown disc, and you'll just have to put the water on the disc so the dirt expands, and then you'll take a fork to kind of mix it together and then plant the bulb inside. All right. Are we ready for the quiz time? Do you have any last final thoughts?
Well, I see is this the first question already,
Yes,
Chenelyn?
it is.
Oh, well, I would go to that immediately. So
All right.
read the question and then raise
Okay,
your
our
hand.
hands down.
Yes, everyone's hands are down.
Great. All right, can you identify this flower that often pushes through snow?
Maybe read the question answers, please, as well.
Yes. Three options. You're looking at the photo right here. Is it a lily martagon, a crocus, or a Dutch hyacinth? And
Okay.
I think I saw Miss Gracie's hand go first.
Yes, I see the list here. So again, please let Chenelyn read the question first and then raise your hand. So yes, Gracie, what do you think it is for a chance at a prize?
Crocus.
Yes.
Congratulations, Gracie.
Thank you.
Crocuses emerge from the ground early in the year. You'll notice these flowers pushing through the snow. The plant yields copious amounts of pollen and nectar, so bees love them. Expect 3 to 4 blossoms from one large bulb. So these are crocuses are a very popular summer bulb. Spring bulb that will usually grow I've seen them come up as early as in February. Isn't that beautiful? This pop of vibrant color just popping through that white snow. We have some of them in our community gardens, and they usually come around February. And it just adds a lovely pop of color. And you know that spring's right around the corner. Congratulations, Gracie.
Thank you.
All right,
Three-
second question.
Three
All
more
hands down.
chances. 3 more chances. Let's go.
All right, guess this flower that grows from a bulb. Is it a spring starflower, a ground orchid, or a daffodil?
Okay. First hand I seen. Cassandra,
Miss
please.
Cassandra, I saw that hand just go up. Oh my goodness, it was the fastest.
What is this?
It's a daffodil.
Congratulations. Yes.
Congrats,
Squirrels tend to
Cassandra.
leave daffodil
Thank
bulbs
you.
alone, and you won't need to divide them for many years, as they tend to stay in place for long periods. The bulbs perforate underground to form a large mass. Congratulations, Miss Cassandra.
Thank you.
By a show of hands, how many folks have planted daffodils, or you see them around in your neighborhood? They're probably, I would say, really popular around here.
Oh, I mean nature is so beautiful. Like, how does it have that cone shape to it? It looks like it looks like a chef's hat.
Yeah.
Okay, with 2 hands again. Anyone else see daffodils in their community, their neighborhood? Have you planted daffodils before?
I would say they're one of the most popular bulbs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2 more chances, y'all.
Right. Third question. These blossom bulbs were pricey in the past, and towns have annual festivals in honor of their colorful blooms. Is it a tulip, wild hyacinth, or a rain lily?
Okay. First hand I see is Mr. Ronald. Good luck. What do you think it is?
I think it's a tulip.
Congratulations. Yes.
I know that's right, Mr. Ronald.
Today, you can purchase tulip bulbs for mere change, but several centuries ago, tulip bulbs were reserved just for the aristocrats, as they were highly valued. In the mid-1600s, the Dutch were virtually obsessed with cultivating, purchasing, and selling the bulbs. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that in Holland, I'm sure you've seen it too. That's a very big, popular tulip festival, and different parts of the world have them. In Portland, Oregon, we also have a tulip farm, and every year in the summer, you can go there and see just a magnitude of different colors of variation. There's probably a good over 20 different colors, and it's just beautiful. Congratulations, Mr. Ronald.
Thank you very much.
Congrats. One more. So if you have not spoken yet, if this is your last chance to win a bowl prize. So again, raise those hands, be the first one and get that answer correct. And you may be walking away with the bulb today. So good luck.
Okay. What is the name of this perennial? A species tulip, a Spanish bluebell, or Noreen?
Okay, I see a hand that went up so fast. So, any other hands? Any other hands? Okay. All right, let's see. Anne, what do you say?
I knew all others, but I'm hoping that this is a Noreen.
You are correct, Miss Anne. Congratulations on winning a prize. I know you wanted one.
Yeah, really bad.
I know that's right, Anne. Oh, y'all went 4 for 4 today. I know that's right.
The perennial Noreen typically blossoms in autumn and is native to South Africa. Cultivars of the late flowering bulb are divided into 3 groups: evergreen, winter growing, and summer growing. So these are also another popular plant too, because you can do them throughout all the seasons. And oh, what's the bird? Oh my gosh, the bird that drinks the nectar. Oh, I totally forgot.
Oh,
The hummingbirds. Thank you. Yes.
yes.
Yes, hummingbirds love these.
They're so pretty. Native to South Africa. Oh, look at that.
Okay. Thank you all so much. Hopefully you learned something about bulb planting. They're relatively easy, so bloom on and be fabulous.
Oh, well, first, let's say congratulations to our 4 winners, and then we have an image to share. So let's all say congrats. Well, first, I'm gonna unmute Mr. Ronald, Miss Anne, Miss Cassandra, and Miss Gracie for winning. So congratulations,
Congratulations,
you
everyone.
both.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
thank
so
you,
you.
thank you,
much.
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you,
you,
thank you.
Let's
Chenelyn.
all say congrats to our winners for today and say
All
thank you
four.
to Chenelyn for providing these prizes to us.
Thank
Congratulations.
you,
Congratulations,
thank you,
Congratulations.
winners.
Alex.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have, I have one.
Amazing, amazing. All right. Well, thank you again, everyone, for participating. Any final questions? Let's right after our mini showcase for today. Any questions for Chenelyn? So please keep that in mind. In the chat, Chenelyn, I actually so the Seed and Spade app where you could do the plots, unfortunately, that is no longer available on the App Store, but I did I
Oh.
know sometimes that does happen, but I did find the Farm Your Yard
Mhm.
app where it tells you for each plant like the growing period, when you should grow, things of that
Nice.
nature. So I do have that here in the chats. Okay. And then,
Okay, great.
yeah, for our showcase today, we have, again, if you send me, like, if you text me, if you email me any pictures of your plants or gardens, I'm really happy to showcase them to the group. So give me one moment and to pull up this photo, and then we'll let the sharer share a few words. So this is our picture. Amazing. And then Gracie, if you could share a minute or two on this photo, we appreciate you sending it in.
Oh my gosh.
Now these are my white potatoes that I grew. Um, they are kind of small, but I didn't give them a full amount of time in the ground. I planted them a little late, and so I dug them up. And I was satisfied with what I got. They just weren't as large as I wanted them to be, but I'll eat them, that's for sure. And that green one that you see there, I won't eat that one because you can't eat them if they're green. They
Oh,
said they may be
interesting.
poisonous to you in some way. So I just laid it there because I had it with the others, but the others I can eat them.
This is fabulous, Miss Gracie. Oh my goodness, so many ways to cook them up, scalloped, baked.
Yep.
You have enough there to do 2 different recipes.
Yeah. I'll dig the sweet potatoes next week.
Although I love a good scallop potato with lots of cheese.
Mm. Yeah, I'm going to make potato salad out of half of them, and I think I'll partially boil the others.
Yeah, really nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
All from a grow bag. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we
amazing.
saw your journey, Gracie. So
yeah.
I love it. Are you gonna use anything we learned today, Gracie, or you are one of our winners, so I can't wait for you to plant your bulb.
Well, what Chenelyn was talking about, my mother she was a garden person. She grew every flower I think that you could grow in Georgia. And she would have the crocuses in the ground, and I've seen them come up through the snow. That's why I knew that. We got a dusting of snow. Sometimes she'd leave them in the ground and they'd pop up through that little dusting of snow. That's why I did that so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for sharing, Gracie. This is an
Mhm.
amazing picture. Thank you for your progress. We
Yes,
see it
thank
in
you.
real life.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments for Chenelyn today? But again, congrats to Gracie, Cassandra, Ronald, and Anne for winning a Spring Bowl prize today. Any questions or comments for Anne? We have just a few minutes left, but we appreciate everything you shared with us today, Chenelyn.
It's my pleasure. I love those potatoes, Miss Gracie, and I
Thank
thank
you.
you for sharing. I just love it when everyone shares what they're growing because it's amazing, who knew that we can just, from a few seeds can get a bountiful harvest.
Yeah.
And like I've shared in other presentations, it does not take a lot of space to grow fresh food and herbs, and you can save a lot of money. Thanks to my little garden plot, I'm able to do my squash and my eggplants this year and all my leafy greens. So I hardly, it's just me. So I don't need to cook a lot. So I was able to save a lot of money by just growing my own things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if you don't have a yard, you can do it inside your home. We talked about using grow lights or at least putting them by the window during the day and then moving them, under your table lamp or something in the afternoon or in the evening. And you can use recycled materials. So gardening has brought me so much joy. I think I got more into it in terms of growing things that I want to use, I would say during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was a little bit more strategic in terms of what I wanted to grow, things that maybe seasonal things that I didn't want to go to the store or couldn't go to the store. And so like my squash, my zucchini. I still have my tomatoes, but this weekend I'm going to pull all my summer crops out. I'm going to harvest my last of my kale and my bok choy. And then I'm going to do also my bulb seeds. Well, these are seeds, but my first ones I'm going to do are turnips. I'm going to do turnips. I've never done those before. And
Mm-hmm.
my heirloom carrots. And then maybe some garlic. But I definitely I'm actually going to plant bulbs for the first time at my community garden. So I haven't decided if I want to do the gladiolas or some type of a lily. But I have 4 corners, right? So I guess I could plant one in each corner and see what grows.
Yeah.
Please do that. I love that idea. The lilies and the crocus are so beautiful.
Mm.
We love to see it maybe next month if you can. We love to see the garden, Chenelyn.
Yes, we'll do another show and tell. Oh, I had an art installation project where one of our local artists, I think it was a couple weeks ago, we invited the neighborhood to paint cutouts of butterflies and worms and flowers that the kids painted. And then we're going to affix them to the garden fence. So hopefully on our next live demonstration show and tell, we can show you the art installation that's being put up.
Oh, amazing. And well, Gracie showcased the potatoes. So today is Wild Foods Day. So,
Ah,
today is all about foraging and such, but you can, like you said, you can really grow your own food and it's amazing. So yes. And I hope those seeds are working out well that I shared with you. Were you able to grow those?
we are going to save those in the spring because we are going
Uh-huh.
to do another little art project. But actually, I saved one bag because we're going to put it here around the house for our residents to do.
Oh, that's a lovely
Yes.
activity.
So
I'm so happy.
I'll share those photos too.
Okay. Maybe that could be a live demo too. Who knows? Well, the
Yes.
possibilities are endless. So Thank you so much, Chenelyn. And then I think we have two quick comments for you before we end. But these happen to be from our winners. So thank you all again for participating. We have Mr. Ronald and Ann. Any quick questions or comments for Chenelyn before we
Yes,
end?
I have a question. As you're digging your holes for not just tulips or you're going to plant anything, I've been told it's a good idea to put peat moss in that hole because it's already loose and it gives the roots a chance to grab onto something as it moves toward maturity. So is peat moss a good idea for planting?
I think that's a great tip, Mr. Ronald. Yes, because it also helps with absorption of water and to hold the nutrients in. I think that's great. I've never done it before, but now I want to do it because yes, you can use that too instead of like a granite mulch type thing. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a
That's
great idea.
probably a good thing for the bulbs, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I'm not into horticulture real deep, but I do remember that.
You know a few things,
No.
Mr. Ronald. You know a lot more than what you're sharing. Don't hold out on us.
I always tell our seniors that you know more than you think. So this was the channel to share that with us. And that sounds very intuitive. So to
But
great
now that I think about it, you actually do see it when you buy new plants or different things and you take it out of the container it comes in. You do see a little bit of it at the bottom, like the white pebble stuff.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, hey, might as well, hey, don't if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's been done like that and it must work out. So try to mimic it in your home as best as you can.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mr. Ronald. We
Thank
got
you.
Ann for a question or a quick comments.
My
Thank you. Yeah.
was this was very, very interesting today. I found out a lot that stuff that I was not and should be and haven't been doing, but it's already worked out. But I wanted to know where I can buy some Nervine.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if they have it at places like Home Depot, but I would definitely try your local nursery first.
Okay. Or out of one of the plant catalogs.
You can, yes, yes, yes.
Thank you, because I think that's a beautiful plant, and we had one, but when the gas company put in the new meters, they dug up my I can't think of the name of the bush that we had since we had been here since 1951, and we lost
Wow.
that bush, and I cried for days because I
Oh my
loved
God.
that plant. Um, it makes these little flowers on it, and it looks like a little thing you jingle or something like. I can't think of the name. I can't think of the name of it, but anyhow, I would like to get some more Nervine.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that they did that.
Yeah, and it
Mm.
and when they put it back in the ground, it just died.
Yeah, it didn't act right.
No, it didn't. It did not. And I nursed that plant. I put plant food. I fed it. I did everything. I prayed on it. Everything.
Yeah.
Well, this time it will be much better with the knowledge that we learned today, right?
Right.
So you got this, Ann.
So thank you so much, and thank you for the gift.
Oh,
Thank you.
you deservingly won it, as did our three winners with your knowledge. Again, you guys did 4 for 4, so you know more than you think, y'all. Any last words, Chenelyn? Any final thoughts? We won't be seeing you until right before Thanksgiving. So, any tips or final thoughts for our group today?
It is always a pleasure to join you all. Continue to plant. Um, like I said, it doesn't take a lot of space. Hopefully, we'll do some more share and tell next time because we want to see what you're growing. And don't let it stress you out. Do what you love.
Yes. And community togetherness. Let your fellow iPad senior folks know what's going on, and you may learn something new. So Let's all thank
Congratulations again to the winners, and we'll get those prizes out by the end of this week.
all of them from this time and last time.
Yes.
So
Thanks
let's
again
all
for the last time winners. Thanks for your immense patience on that.
Thank you, Sherilyn.
Thank
Chenelyn.
you.
Honey.
Good,
Chenelyn.
Chenelyn.
And
Thank
share
you.
your pictures.
Thank
When you
you.
get your bulb, like take a picture of it, and then when it starts to bloom, like send progress photos so we can see it, because
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'll know what they'll be because they'll say, but I don't know what color or like what it is. So it'll be a surprise to all of us.
No.
It's okay. Well, it's a lovely surprise. Thank you so much, Chenelyn.
All right,
Thank you.
everyone, be
Thank
safe.
you.
Take
Thank you
care.
very much.
See
Thank
you
you.
next month.
Today.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Great,
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
great
Bye-bye.
job, Chenelyn.
Bye.
Great job. Thank you.